I am.
Good. Just before we start, what's your favourite soup?
My favorite soup?
Noodle soup. Interesting. Okay, ready?
What's yours actually?
Broccoli cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Hi everyone, it's Andy from Snow Camp Europe with another podcast, and I am joined with
Wouter from Snow Sports Kaprun.
and also
Thomas Maierhofer, CEO of the Gletscherbahn Kaprun AG.
fantastic. So there you go, folks. The Gletscherbahn CEO Thomas is here to talk to us about the hot topic, which we've already recorded one podcast on, but there were so many comments and questions we thought we would get the man who knows the answers to come on and join us. And therefore, we're talking about the Epic Pass again. The Epic Pass, which is from Vail Resorts, which encompasses multiple resorts all around the world, which the Kitzsteinhorn, Zell, Saalbach area are now a part of. So, Thomas, tell us, why is now the right time to join the Epic Pass?
Yeah, we have the possibility at the ski world championship in Saalbach to discuss with the guys from Vail Resort, and then we had the possibility to be part of this Epic Pass, the whole Alpine Card region.
Yeah.
That means Saalbach, Zell and Kitzsteinhorn. And the next winter, so winter 2025-26, we will start this cooperation with Vail Resort.
Okay, so if the conversation started in January, this has happened pretty quick.
Yeah, it happened pretty quick.
Okay, and was this driven mainly by the Americans or by the ski area here?
I would say both companies and both stakeholders are interested in this cooperation. As I said, the World Championship was really the door opener to start this initial conversation. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because that is a very short space of time from January to where we are now. Beginning of June. To have this done.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussions the last few months, but we came to an end. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys in January must have instantly thought there would be some short and long-term benefits to being part of the Epic Pass. What could you tell us those thoughts were or are?
Yeah, the US ski market is a very interesting ski market. They have the most skier days in the world, and the US skiers are really interested in European resorts. So that was the reason why we are also interested to get these people to our resorts.
Yeah, just to clarify, because it is a partner, basically a ski pass, a partner pass, isn't it? It's nothing to do with if Vail has bought the Kitzsteinhorn. No. Okay, just to clear that up.
Yeah. It's completely different. The Epic Pass holders are allowed to use 5 ski days in our areas.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. And do they have to stay in certain accommodation?
No, we have no relation about the accommodations. So it's just the ski access.
Yeah, okay, because in
Aalberg,
they have to stay.
Yeah.
That's very good. So they don't have to stay in accommodation. And what and has this got any effect on ski pass pricing? Are the ski passes going up in price or?
No. We think there will only be a small number of Americans who will come at the beginning to us to ski, so there will be no influence to our pricing.
And who started the negotiation? Was it as the whole resort, or was it you, the Kitzsteinhorn, or was it Saalbach?
Saalbach was the driver of this negotiation. So the guys in Saalbach started this.
Yeah. And do you think it's positive for the?
Yeah, we think that's the reason why we've done this cooperation. As I said, American skiers is a really attractive market. Yeah. Also the Americans, they are they came to Europe, they came to Salzburg for culture, and we want them to get here for skiing as well.
Yeah, we agree. We think
Yeah,
so
yeah.
as well.
As I said earlier, I have a lot of American clientele anyway. I have 17 people coming at Christmas. Whether or not they have the Epic Pass, I don't know. But obviously, if they do, then this is a big bonus for them because even though for the 17 of them to travel from Colorado, they actually live in Colorado, for the 17 to travel, flights, hire minivans, lift passes, ski lessons, accommodation, it's still cheaper than if, as 17 people, they ski in the States.
Yeah.
So I see this as a big positive for not just the Epic Pass, but also for the accommodation, for the ski schools, for the restaurants, for the bars, if we can bring a good number of Americans in. But that leads on to, are we going to make any infrastructural changes for the additional footfall of people that could end up on the Kitzsteinhorn? Because on busy days, we already see a lot of people, and we do have lift queue issues in certain areas. So is anything going to change to accommodate what could be a big influx of people? Or have you calculated or modelled that you expect a certain number and it to build over the years?
Yeah. In our opinion, there are only a few days in the year where we have queues at the lift, at the chairs. So I think that will be no big influence to our whole number of ski guests we have on the Kitzsteinhorn. That's our opinion. So I don't think that we will have problems with our infrastructure because now we are part of the Epic Pass. So I don't think that will be a problem.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, the queues, they have been massively improved over the last 25 years. I remember when I came, and it's completely different, so much better. It's
Great barn chairlift.
Yeah, it's only a couple of days really.
Yeah. But it's, I suppose, from what I can see, it doesn't look like we have any of these blackout days on their ability with the pass. So some resorts say they cannot ski Christmas, New Year, Labor Day, President's Day, things like this. Do we have any blackout days, or are they able to come at any time?
Anytime. We have no restrictions, but only 5 days.
Yeah. And do they have to be 5 consecutive days, or could they do 3 days here, go to Soldum for 3 days, and then come back and do 2?
Yeah, they can go 3 days to Zell or Kaprun, and can go 2 days to Zell. Yeah.
Okay. So 5 days, but they don't have to be 5 consecutive days.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Cool.
Good.
Yeah. All right. So, have you seen any negativity since the announcement that was maybe only 2 weeks ago?
In Austria, not. Yeah, but we know about the discussions in the US ski market. Yeah. But I think Vail Resorts are really professional partners. Yeah. But I haven't heard it's any negative posts or something in Austria yet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because some here as well, like online a little bit, or you showed me like a thread in one of these groups. There, some people say, "Oh, it's selling out again to Vail Resorts," So, what would you say to these people who are thinking that, or just to clear up, like, okay, don't panic. Vail is not going to.
It's completely different to for example, Andermatt. Yeah. Andermatt Vail Resort bought this ski resort. Yeah. We have only the cooperation about the lift tickets.
Yeah.
That's the big difference. Yeah.
So Vail cannot depict any prices outside of the Epic Pass.
Correct. Yeah. They have no influence to our price.
You still hold all control for the Alpencard along with Saalbach and Intergem. Okay, good stuff. Is it? I'm guessing it has to be financially benefit to be a partner with Vail, or is the financial benefit just going to come from those additional tourist numbers that we hope to see?
Yeah, we will see. We have the cooperation now for 5 years. Yeah. And of course, we want to have a benefit from this cooperation, but we will see.
Okay, so that's new information. We didn't know that. So it's 5 years at the moment.
Yeah.
So it could then get ended or it could get extended.
Correct.
Okay. And with that extension, could more influence come into play from Vail, or would it still just be the same?
No, it's just the same. Yeah.
Okay.
We are one partner of many partners in Europe.
Yeah.
It was announced last week. For example, Zell is also part of the Epic Pass now, as well as other ski resorts than Hinterdux and Maierhofer.
Yeah.
So we don't see, or we will. I don't think we will have that in the future.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, because do you think this is going to be happening more and more in Europe? So do you see like this bit more of a global partnership between resorts in the future? It's not only the Epic Pass, but also, let's say, okay, I don't know, the Three Valleys in France. There's a corporation or something like that, or this is just really the Epic Pass, or it's hard to say, or
it's hard to say. We have already pass partnership. For example, the Super Ski card. The main ski resorts in Salzburg and in East Tyrol are part of it, as well as our Alpine card partner, the pass partnership. So we are really a big ski resort which can use our ski guests. So it's hard to say how it will be in the future, but I think I don't think that Epic will expand more ski resorts in Europe. It's hard to say.
But could we see, not so much with the Epic Pass, could we see a collaboration with, let's say, the Alpen card with another area in France or in Italy or, I don't know, Switzerland?
I don't think that will happen.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay, interesting, cool.
Yeah, I think it's the Americans. Yeah, it's a different market. Yeah.
Cool. So I believe there was a trip to America in March where some of the Kitzsteinhorn company went with some ski school owners and.
Correct. Yeah.
Can we talk about that trip a little bit? Because I'm thinking, was that trip anyway involved with this?
It wasn't.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about that trip?
It was, for me, it was the first time I've been in a ski resort in the US.
Okay.
It was really interesting. The big learnings for me was that they have a lot of things to do in the infrastructure. Okay, but it will happen in the next years, as the owners and the directors told us in the ski resorts. Yeah.
Sorry, what do you mean with that? With the infrastructure?
Yeah, they are really old.
Yeah, the lifts are old, so so they're gonna update it. Yeah, it's necessary because there's half of them they don't have safety bars.
The most interesting learning for me was the fact that the pistes are not groomed every day.
It's nice, isn't it? I love it.
This is a positive.
I think it's fantastic, but I think here as well. We keep also saying it since years.
It's pretty normal that this piste is groomed on Monday and the other one on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's completely different to Austria.
Yeah. But do you see this as a good thing or as a negative?
It depends on the snow conditions, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because we kind of both see that as a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. For different reasons.
But it's a different mindset.
Yeah.
In Europe, the guests expect that the pistes are groomed. So for a long time.
And that's because a good number of the guests can't ski so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they don't spend enough time in ski school or going back to learn. Where if part of the mountain was more challenging, they would have to.
And why don't we spend so much time in ski school and not just leave it?
That's a different podcast. Okay, that's interesting. So what else was that America trip? So that's what you said. You were surprised with the infrastructure, with the pisting.
Yeah.
What else was that trip about, if you're allowed to tell us?
Yeah, I was really positive about the hospitality of the guys there. Yeah, it was amazing. And the ski resort we have been, they are really good. Yeah, we've been at former Squaw Valley, it's now Palisade,
Yeah.
and we've been at the World Cup finals in Sun Valley, as well as in Jackson Hole. It was really interesting. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was really interesting.
And was this just a Kitzsteinhorn, or did Saalbach go along as well?
No, they haven't been here. There have been a few guys from Tyrolean ski resorts with us. Yeah, and it was a really good trip. Yeah, interesting trip. Yeah.
Okay, so on the service element,
Yeah.
obviously their lifts are old, and this is from what I saw when I was in America, which quite a long time ago. Their lifts were quite old, but the level of service from the lift attendants was very high.
It was, yeah.
So you never have a chairlift go up with an empty seat. They
Correct,
always
yeah.
fill the seat. They always
Correct.
fill the gondola. Is that a learning that you will be looking to employ in this area? We see it in Saalbach, but we don't really see it here.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that something that we would be trying to implement?
Yeah, would be a goal of us. Yeah, would be a goal of us that our employees as well have this
Passion.
this mindset, this passion. Yeah, but I think there's also the mindset of the guests is completely different in the US, especially the queues at the lifts.
Mm-hmm.
The guests are really they have the distance, so it's.
So there's a little bit more lift queue etiquette
Yeah,
than we
it
see
is,
here, because here it's very
definitely.
much.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
definitely,
Yeah, it's just pushing, and the
Yeah.
rest of the world is really etiquette. Yeah.
And what another thing was, it's more the off-piste scenery is more than in Austria it is. Yeah.
Mm.
So not only the tracks and the pistes, so they really like to go off-piste. Yeah, and they have a good things that you can do in the off-piste.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's got also fatter skis.
Yeah,
A lot of fat
yeah.
skis.
Yeah,
A lot of fat
correct,
skis.
yeah.
This is what we also need to get ready for, is more fat skis.
Yeah.
Because if the Americans do start to come, fatter skis. couple of other questions, if we can, about the season.
Yeah,
Because obviously we always try to be open as early as possible,
yeah,
mid-October, November. And then this year we closed on the 18th of May, which
yeah.
is understandable because it's just after Easter and we see very few tourists. But given the shift in the weather patterns, that the season seems to be coming later at the beginning and lasting longer at the end.
yeah.
Do you ever see that we would change the winter season to start later and finish later, and therefore try and change the mindset of people that once Easter is over, winter still continues? Because like this winter, literally from the day the lift closed up until yesterday, it snowed.
Yeah.
When the conditions would have been fantastic. Now I understand the economics do not work if there are no people here, but if people were going to continue their ski holidays into the spring, do you think the season would move?
Our goal is to start in the beginning of October. We do a lot of things and efforts to guarantee this. Yeah, we made a lot of artificial snow with this is snow covering of the glacier. So we do a lot of things to guarantee a start in the beginning of October.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, in May there's a completely change of mindset of the sportive guests. Yeah, they change to bike. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we have really few skiers on the mountain, despite the conditions were very winter. So we saw that the last years that there is really a change in mindset. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think what you're thinking of is as well is like you need to then change the holidays, Andy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that once if that doesn't happen, then I
Yeah.
don't think it makes sense for any, you know.
Yeah, depends how many people are prepared to carry on traveling after that, because it's a mental thing.
Yeah, it is,
and it would
yeah.
take many years to change people's mindset, because people think, and outside of us here, most people watching this, they consider skiing as Christmas to Easter. They don't even think about October and November, and they don't think about after Easter anyway. But it would be a massive educational piece to do it. But if the pattern continues, then we're going to probably see snow into June and July, unless in October and November. If the pattern continues, and I can only speak for 13 years of watching the pattern here. But something you said there about the change to bikes is because of that mental change, and then everybody gets on their bikes. Is there a plan to develop more mountain biking in the area?
Yes, we have a plan to establish more mountain bike. We have trails on the Kitzsteinhorn and on the Maierhofer, but we want to improve this infrastructure.
Cool. So do you think we will start to see the kind of improvements that would enable us to compete with Saalbach?
No, Saalbach is completely different. They have the mountain scenery. It's either for mountain biking. The Kitzsteinhorn is completely different. We have in May a lot of snow.
Yeah.
There's still snow,
plenty,
so we can't do mountain biking at the moment at the Kitzsteinhorn because there's snow. So it's really a short season where we can offer this.
Okay.
So we will never be like Leogang or Saalbach for mountain biking. It's not possible.
Okay. Cool. Just going back to the Epic Pass, which is the reason we're here. Can the Epic Pass holders use that in October and November as well? Or is it just from the normal season card start?
Yeah, our season card starts beginning of October, so they can come as well on.
So the Epic Pass can be used from starting day to end
Correct,
day. Okay.
correct.
Which goes back to a big benefit that we see for the Americans is that they can come and ski in October and November.
Correct.
They can spend the main season skiing America,
Correct.
and then they can come and ski the end of the season on the Kitzsteinhorn again.
Right.
Perfect.
It's the same time like Alpine card.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, do you have any more questions?
I don't. Well, I've got one last question, but depending on if you have a kind of question.
No, I think we've got the information we needed.
Yeah.
We've been reassured that the prices aren't going to go crazy. Vail haven't taken over. The Kitzsteinhorn is still going to be owned by the owners. No one has anything to worry about.
If your prices don't go up, beer prices might go up, but that has nothing to do with the Epic Pass. No, I've got one last question, Thomas. If you would go and ski anywhere outside of Austria, where would you go, and with whom would you go?
One of my favorite places, to be honest, is South Tyrol. Südtirol. Because the combination of the scenery of the mountains, the culinary,
it's really
eating, it's really the whole package is really cool.
It's really good. Good food, good wine.
And who with?
With my wife.
He couldn't say anything else because he knows we're going to send her a copy.
Okay. No, thank you so much, Thomas, for your time. Much appreciated. I think it's good because there were so many people assuming things, and it's very good. And I think it's really positive. I think it's a really good move.
We think so too.
It's really good.
There you go, folks. Hopefully that's answered all of your questions on the Epic Pass and its relation to what's happened here in Kaprun, Saalbach, Zell and the other Austrian areas. If you have any questions or comments, pop them below. And if there are any we can't answer, then we'll try and get Thomas to answer them for us. So from myself and Walter, it's bye for now. And thank you very much, Thomas, for taking the time out.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.